SPORTSCAST with Jeremy Buckaloo is proud to announce we are now officially powered by TEC. If their fiber optic internet service can handle everything we throw at it here in the studio, from videos to calls and live streams, you better believe they can handle your home or business too. If speed, stability, and service is important to you, you can count on TEC. Thanks, TEC. Now let's get to the show.
Hey everybody, happy Sunday and welcome to another episode of SPORTSCAST. I'm your host, Jeremy Buckaloo. Glad to have you with us again this week. Going to have another fun conversation about whatever comes up, but got some specific things in mind that we're going to discuss. But glad you're able to join us tonight. Do want to start off as always by thanking our sponsors. Say thank you to the Peddler Advantage. They are in circulation all over West Tennessee, and you can place your classified ad in the Peddler just each and every week if you need to, but appreciate them and their sponsorship of the show. Also want to say thank you to TEC for the high-speed fiber internet that outfits the studio. Couldn't do the show without it, obviously, and so we're appreciative to them for their support of my show and the Mike Weatherford show and everything they do for us here at the Brewer Street Mafia Studios. Got a good panel tonight. Again, fun conversation. To my left is my always lovely co-host. I haven't seen her all weekend. She's been out and about, and we'll hear about that a little bit later. But Kenna, welcome home, I guess, and good to see you. Last time I saw her was Friday, and then she walked in about, 20 minutes ago at the house. And so good to see you. I'm glad y'all hopefully had a good trip, and we'll hear about it a little bit. But
definitely.
All right. Glad to have you. Our special guest tonight, no stranger to the show by any stretch of the imagination, Coach Cordon Hight from the Inman Bulldogs. And he actually, this show was kind of his idea because the last time we were here, we had just talked about some general stuff, and you were like, man, we need to have a show to talk just about NIL. And so I said, well, let's make it happen. And so here we are. We're going to talk about some NIL tonight, but glad to have you with us as always.
Awesome to be back, man.
Joined this evening, making his second or so appearance on the show, Mr. Luke Brown. Good to see you, Luke, and glad you could make it in. And you also had a big weekend. Y'all were out and about, and so good to have you with us, and glad that you could join us. And then first time on the show, joining us, Mr. Ryan Damron from a lot of folks know him as the record setter at Henry County, but went on to play for the Vols a little bit, and as a quarterback for Josh Heupel's offense there in Knoxville. And Ryan, welcome to the show. Glad to have you, and glad you could make it in tonight, and looking forward to having you share some of your insight with us.
Yes, sir. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
No problem. We're going to start the show as we do each and every week with the best thing you saw this week. I'll start because mine is insignificant compared to y'all's, I think. Nothing. I mean, I had a good week, but the best thing I saw this week, I'm going to say, is the Henry County boys basketball team. They're undefeated, 11-0 on the season, I believe, is their record, 10-0 or 11-0. Two big wins this week over some quality programs in South Gibson and Lexington. They're just lighting it up from all over the floor. Ja'Kai Beard can jump out of the gym. It's fun to watch. And so that's the best thing I've seen this week is Henry County's basketball squad. So, Coach Hight, best thing you saw this week?
I mean, that's not insignificant by any means. I don't know when the last time that we've started off 10 or 11-0, and against the competition we faced too. We've played some really good competition, so that's awesome to watch, and awesome to watch those kids be successful. That a lot of them came from our program, and then a lot of the county kids I've gotten to know over the time, and it's been awesome to watch. So my favorite, man, I was sitting here thinking, and I was like, I said one I was going to say, and then I was like, man, honestly, I should probably talk about family a little bit. But
it is the week of Christmas.
Yeah, right. So. But no, I've made a couple trips to Illinois this week to see my family up there, nice. And my kids get to see their grandparents. Sure. That's probably got to be my highlight of the week, is just getting to spend time, and I got to go duck hunt with my dad and my brothers, and I don't get to do that a whole lot. So getting to go home and spend a little time with family is always a good thing for us. So glad that'll have to be my best thing of the week.
Very nice. Always, like I said, family's always very important, and anytime, especially when you're not in the same town, you get to see them. It's a big deal, I know. And did y'all see any ducks?
Believe it or not, I've actually seen more here this year than I have up there. So that's not a good thing. It is here for here. But no, it's not been real great. But, we always say duck season's like a 2-week season in January. And whenever that happens, it will. But not been real hot, but hopefully it'll heat up here in a little bit.
Nice. Ryan, best thing you saw this week, bud?
With the portal opening up, I'd have to go with my brother Jake Merklinger entering the transfer portal. I'm excited for him to get his opportunity to go somewhere where he's going to have a chance to shine and really put on show what he's capable of. Sure. So that's,
of course, Jake is from Savannah, Georgia, and we've got some friends. Kevin Barron was on the show before. He and his wife and Ellie live down in Savannah now, and I think they know the Merklingers, and so he really keeps in touch with them and kind of, shares information. Just, how Jake was at Tennessee, and he remembers watching him in high school there in Savannah. And I saw that, and first thing I did was send it to Kevin and was like, did you see this? And he's like, yeah, I saw it. And so I'm excited to see what happens for him. And it's neat having that connection.
It is, especially with us being so far away now. We don't need to talk as much, but just seeing him still flourishing where he's at. So happy for him.
When do you I know because Caden was on last week and talked a lot about the transfer portal and all that. And I know portal opens January 2nd or so officially, and then so
they keep changing the dates so much. It's kind of hard to keep up with it.
I assume it's one of those situations though where he'll take his time, but then make a decision that's best for him and his family. But probably sometime mid-January we'll know where he's headed. And
yeah, I feel like he's probably going to have quite a bit of traction coming out of the portal, too. I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot of film, but he's a pretty highly touted guy out of high school.
He's a 5-star, right? When coming out, I think.
I think it depends on what website you look at.
I understand that.
4 or 5 stars somewhere in there. So
yeah. Well, that's exciting. Good for him. Hope it, wish him the best. And
Absolutely.
Like I said, just having that physical, that connection with some folks down in Savannah is really neat to see.
100%.
When I saw that. So, Luke, best thing you saw this week?
So yesterday we were able to go to the college football playoff game down in Oxford, and after the game I got to see former teammate and roommate Patrick Kudus and hang out with him and his family.
Nice.
And while we were waiting for Patrick to come out of the facility, there was a magician doing card tricks for us, and that stuff just blew my mind. It didn't make sense how he was doing it, but he's got social media pages on TikTok and Instagram, and it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I think what'd you say, the Magic Man of Oxford or something like that is his, and so you can go and watch
Hopefully we'll be in a video.
Hopefully, he did record.
Yeah, well, Kenna texted us that in a family chat on Instagram. It was we were just in one of this guy's videos, I think, and so I went and followed him, and so I'm hoping that it pops up, and I used to do some very simple, I would watch TikToks, and there's a guy on TikTok that'll teach you how to do some card tricks and stuff. So I would always practice on Kenna, and I would she's thought I was decent at card tricks, then I would show her how to do it. You can pretend.
I don't believe that.
Yeah,
I don't
just could have brought a deck.
Right? I mean,
brought a deck up here.
I could have, but but it's just fascinating stuff when you see it, and you try to figure it out, and the more you try to figure it out, the more insane it drives you.
That, and he was just so smooth with you had no idea. At first I thought he was kidding. He was I thought he was some kid waiting for these players to walk out of the locker room, and he was like, can I show you a card trick? And then he showed us, and I was like, whoa, what had just happened?
If Luke thought it was amazing, it must have been, because Luke's so nonchalant.
Luke's hard to impress, I will say that. If Luke is impressed by it, that's the best thing. Luke is he's if you can impress Luke, 100%. You've done something.
Straight face the whole time.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, Kennedale, what was the best thing that you saw this week?
The best thing was definitely getting to go to Oxford. I'm very thankful for those tickets. It was an early Christmas gift for us, and it was just fun. I love the Vaught. I love my Hogs, but I was an Ole Miss fan first, and so it was fun getting to pull for Ole Miss in the Vaught again and not pulling for the Hogs in the Vaught.
It looked like an amazing atmosphere. I mean, just from the videos that I saw and the drone show and
we couldn't
everything.
See the drone
Could you not see the drone behind you? Well,
but it was fun being there for Pete Golding's first.
Yeah.
And it was just fun. Everyone was hyping him up, and tearing Lane Kiffin down.
I understand.
It was fun.
What was the Grove like? Was it just insane, or was it just like a
It
normal
was
Grove?
crawling with people.
Yeah.
There was more people there, I think, than when Arkansas played Ole Miss when we went to that game.
They set an attendance record. So did y'all wear your Santa hats?
We didn't get them.
We
Really?
didn't get them. I don't know if they were at the gate or if they were like.
Okay.
I read somewhere on social media that it was supposed to be in your seat.
Yeah.
But they weren't in our seats.
They weren't in our seats.
So I don't.
I just because they were trying to, or they announced that they set a Guinness World Record.
But I
for
did
the
see
most
that, and I
people.
wondered like we weren't wearing one, and so did they actually like take a picture and count, or were they just saying like, oh, this many tickets were sold, and that's who was
It's like 68,000 is the biggest
Yeah.
crowd ever in the vault, and so I'm glad y'all got to be a part of that. Even though I saw your Instagram story, you didn't tell PK I said hi, which
It's messed up.
it is bad. I
doesn't-
thought so too.
When have you met PK?
I'm never going to. You don't tell him I said hi when you see him.
I'm not gonna be like, my dad said hey. Like, what kind of loser?
You could just throw me a bone every now and then and be like, anyway.
He runs this awesome sportscast show.
Right. If you ever
come
want-
on?
Yeah, no. Guys, as I said, we're going to talk about just some different college football stuff tonight because obviously Luke and Ryan have some firsthand experience in it. And so if you got something you want to talk about, we're going to talk about it. I think we're going to save NIL for the second part, if that's okay, because I kind of want to talk about the playoffs because y'all are at the game. It's a big deal. And just to get y'all's input and everybody at the table. So a lot of conversation about teams that get left out of the playoff versus automatic bids.
Right.
And then yesterday kind of
What we
helped
said happened.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
It kind of helped the argument that there should not be any automatic bids, that it ought to just be the 12 best teams. And I read something, and they're right. I think John Davidson actually said it, and he's correct. He's like, if you want to be mad at somebody, don't be mad at Tulane and be mad at James Madison. They're just taking advantage of whatever opportunity they're given. Be mad at the NCAA for setting it up like that. But does yesterday help with the argument that scratch the automatic bids, the top 12 teams ought to be who are playing for the playoff, regardless of conference championships or anything like that?
I mean, do we need to really talk about that?
Well, I mean, there are people out there who are thinking, well, no, these G5 teams or whatever, group of 5 squads ought to have a chance to compete but they haven't yet.
Were both games not over 4 touchdown victories? I think they both were, weren't they?
James Madison kind of came back in the second half, and it ended up being closer than it was in the first half. It ended up being like 50-something to 30-something.
Okay, we're talking about 50 points in a football game, though.
Yeah, that
in
is
a playoff
true.
game.
And I still think
Oregon also gave up 500 yards offense from James Madison, which, I mean,
fair enough.
One thing you also got to take into account is like conference championships do matter in the top 4 conferences.
Sure.
Like I think if you're 10-2, 10-3, and you go win an SEC championship, means you're hot at the right time. You did the right things the second half of the season. I think you should have a chance. But talking about Group of 5, Conference USA, things like that, like do whatever you want to in that. But you got to be a team like Cincinnati from I think it was 2020, 2019, somewhere in that range. But you got to be really special in order to get in there as a Group of 5 team. But I think if you're a Power 4 conference winner, I think you should be in no matter what your record is.
I'm with you.
Well, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, well, Duke won the ACC. That would be my only argument. They were ranking 5. But
Correct.
I agree with what you're saying otherwise.
Yeah.
So.
If you could limit it to the Big Ten and the SEC, that'd be ideal. But it's hard to put stipulations like that.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
The counter argument to that is that, and this is no shade at anybody at the table or whatever, but Tennessee did not do well against Ohio State last year.
Yep.
That was a round 1 game, and Tennessee was a top 12 team.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon got blown out by Ohio. I think I looked at the graphic and remembered that game was like 34-0 at halftime. Yep. And I mean, Ohio State was hot at the right time. They were a very good team. Obviously, they went on to win the national championship.
Oregon beat them, though, earlier in the season.
True.
That would be the only, I mean.
Yeah. What do you think they're going to do about it? Like, are they going to leave it like it is? Do y'all think they will change it?
I think they're going to have to change it in some way.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell exactly what they're going to do, but something's going to happen.
How quick do you think they'll expand it to 16?
I don't think they should expand it.
at all?
I think it should go to 8.
I think they'll
Just
condense
top
it.
8
I agree.
teams in the country should play for
I
it.
agree.
And then you have to knock out those automatic bids.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
No
have a
automatic
choice.
bids, just top 8 ranked teams in the country should be in.
No
it.
buys. or
They're not
anything
going to
like
move
that?
backwards, though.
No, they're not.
They
'Cause
won't.
There's too much money involved.
Yes.
They can get more TV time and more sponsors for all these big time playoff games, so they're not going to do it, but that's how it should be.
What it comes down to, how much money is involved.
That's
Right.
true. So, speaking of that, Whitney asked a question yesterday, and again, I want to get y'all's opinion on it. Luke, you got to participate in a bowl game last year in the Liberty Bowl. Ryan, you guys were in a playoff spot, but didn't get a bowl game because that was that's like your bowl game,
Yeah,
essentially.
it is a bowl game, essentially.
So that was my question, because I explained it to Whitney, or what I thought of how it would be explained. Do they treat that like a bowl game with the swag and the stuff and all of that, or is it different? Like, did y'all miss out on that? Like the Liberty Bowl, Luke got to go and do all these things and got a swag bag and all of that. Do the playoff teams get that from the playoff committee, or is it just like, well, sorry guys, you got to play in the playoff. That's better than a bowl appearance.
My freshman year, we played in the Cheez-It Bowl, so I kind of got that experience down in Orlando.
Yeah.
Kind of got to see that aspect, but the playoff was different from a aspect of, like, it wasn't treated as like a vacation. Kinda.
Okay.
So like our bowl game in Orlando, we went to Universal and all these different things,
Yeah.
but playoffs just different. Like you get the swag, obviously. I mean, we got swag every game, it seems like. So, but really, it's just like it's treated more like business rather than a vacation. I don't know how Luke's Liberty Bowl experience was, but Orlando,
It was
Memphis, a little bit
vacation.
different. But
It was vacation.
yeah, for
Was
sure.
it? So,
For sure.
yeah, I guess that makes sense, because definitely a playoff game has a different feel than a whatever bowl game you get into.
Yeah.
Whether it be no matter what, whether Sugar Bowl or whatever. Now that there's a part of the playoffs, I guess obviously it's a big deal. But in the past, like you said, it would have been more like a leisure trip with a football game at the end of it.
And we also had 2 weeks off
Yeah.
before it, and then we flew separately down to Orlando. So like they flew us out of our local airport. So
Oh, okay.
so you didn't even travel with the team like you normally would,
Oh, wow.
and it literally felt like you were on the way to Orlando for a vacation. So
Well, nice. So, like I said, I think yesterday, again, and this is, Tulane and James Madison, it's not their fault. It's the system.
Right.
But I think yesterday helped the argument that those games would have been better if it was BYU and Vanderbilt or Notre Dame, one of those, two of those teams, rather than who we got to see. But again, don't make the rules, just follow them. And that's
I feel like we have to address something
okay.
because we were right about those.
All right.
All right. We were wrong about something.
What were we wrong about?
Alabama.
Okay.
We said they didn't deserve to be in.
They won.
They did.
They did win. I don't know. It's just, and again, y'all are a part of it, so y'all speak up. I thought that A&M, when you did A&M as deserve to be number 3? I mean, I realize that they're 11-1 on the season. Their only loss was to Texas at the end of the regular season. But other than that,
I know it's hard. I mean, I think I saw a stat or something. They have 4 or 5 top 10 wins.
Okay.
Maybe they won. No, they didn't finish. Teams that they beat didn't finish in the top 10. But still, those
At
teams
that time,
were ranked in the top 10. I mean, you have one loss to one of the biggest rivalries in college football.
Sure.
I mean, it's kind of like if you
at
hold
their
against,
place, right?
If you hold it, if you hold it against Bama for losing to Auburn,
Right.
it's kind of one of those things. Or Michigan and Ohio State. I mean, Ohio State's been top 5 team, but lost to unranked Michigan
Right.
2 or 3 times in the last 5 years. So it's hard to hold that kind of game against them and knock them for that, in my opinion.
But yeah, Alabama, I mean, like we were talking about it before, like you got here, that went up against one of the better defenses in the country.
Yeah.
And ended up winning that football game, and we'll move on to play Indiana. So the matchups now are Ole Miss, Georgia, Bama and Indiana, Ohio State, and
Oregon, I think.
I thought Oregon played Tech. I think,
Oregon,
does
Texas
play
Tech, and
and then so who was I can't like
Miami.
Miami
State,
and Ohio
Miami.
State, yeah.
Ohio State, Miami will
So-
be a game.
It will be.
So who you got?
Win it all or win those games?
Those games. So let's start with Bama, Indiana. Who you got in Bama, Indiana?
Indiana has had a special season. I feel like it would be wrong for them to lose. That could happen. I just feel like this is a season, like Indiana's not a football school, never been a football school. All of a sudden, we're talking about them being the best team in the country, possibly.
Right.
I feel like they can't. Like it'd be a wrong story. The story's got to be written right, right?
Okay.
I mean, how do y'all feel? I mean,
Are you saying Bama wins? Or are you
no, I'm saying Indiana wins.
Yeah, I think Indiana wins by like 40, 50. Probably.
That's what my question is. Does Bama's defense, can they stop Mendoza?
I think they can.
You think they can?
I think Bama, they're heating back up how they were. I feel like the game to Georgia, they had injuries and stuff. They were going to be in the playoff probably no matter what happened. And everyone kind of wrote them off, like they said. So
can we say they're inconsistent? Can we?
I could see them being they're pretty inconsistent in some ways. I mean, they play some teams close and blow out others. So, but I like Bama.
Okay.
Just a bigger playoff, it's hard to be inconsistent. I mean, you got to play 3 or 4 games compared to 2. I think it's hard to win as an inconsistent team. I think we saw that with Tennessee last year. I mean, we were one of the most inconsistent teams in the country.
100%.
One week we looked like world beaters. Other weeks we looked like we didn't deserve to be out there. So
They got beat by Arkansas.
They kind of did that
we
this
did
year.
beat by Arkansas.
I wasn't going to mention it.
I mean, this year was pretty similar, though, in some aspects.
Even more so, in my opinion. It was more like a tale of two halves. First half of the season, pretty top 10 team in the country. Second half,
100%.
Fell off.
subpar.
I don't know.
You don't know? All right. I'm going. Listen. I think Indiana's going to win, and I think they're going to win by a lot. Just
3 touchdowns.
I think so.
Okay.
I hope I'm wrong because listen, I'm an SEC guy, true and true. Like, I don't care. I will root for anybody in the SEC against a non-SEC opponent. And so I hope that the SEC just runs straight through the playoffs and there are 2 SEC teams standing at the end. I just don't know if Bama's defense can keep up with Indiana's offense.
Indiana's defense is really good, too.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, they held
solid.
Ohio
Said
State.
the same thing about Oklahoma's defense.
It's true.
So, Georgia, Ole Miss.
I'm going to stay out of this one.
I'd love for Ole Miss to win.
I would love for Ole Miss to win. I just don't know if they can.
I don't think they will.
I think the magic runs out down in Louisiana in the Sugar Bowl, and Lane Kiffin, a couple towns over, is.
Sure, he might be there.
I wouldn't put it past him to show up to that. You know what I mean? Like, buy a ticket and be there.
At least outside the stadium.
They're going to have him talking before the game. What are you talking about? They'll have him on the pregame.
He's going to sing the national anthem.
I wouldn't doubt it one bit. But as much as I want Ole Miss to win, I think that the magic ends. And I think it'll be a close game.
Georgia's defense is
Georgia's
good.
defense. And Kirby Smart always finds a way, you know what I mean, to have his team excelling at just the right times, it feels like. And
He's a great coach.
Ole Miss's defense, I mean, you know, they held Tulane to 10 points, but that's Tulane. You know, our defense is not the best. We went into Athens and were leading by 9, gave up 17 points unanswered in the fourth quarter and lost that game by 8. And I just think Georgia finds a way to win it. And so
I think Ole Miss will do it because they're mad. If you go through Instagram and you see how what reels these players are liking about Lane Kiffin, I think they're all angry. I think they're excited for Pete Golding, but I think they're mad. Yeah. And so I think that they have the magic still.
Anger is a good motivator.
That's what I'm saying.
They're going to take it out on Georgia?
Sure. In Louisiana, absolutely.
Okay.
Be a great storyline.
That would be a great storyline. I hope it happens. But who you got?
I can't bet against. I mean, you can't go against Georgia.
Okay.
I mean, not in this game.
Luke?
It's hard to go against Georgia. They're playing hot right now, but it's also hard to beat a team twice.
That's true.
That is true.
That's true.
They played a close game sometime during the season. I think it was touchdown game difference.
8 points is
in Athens. So I mean, I could see Ole Miss taking it if they're playing with the mindset of they're mad and just want to go get back and kind of a revenge tour type deal. But I don't know.
The difference I think is going to come down, like in Athens, Ole Miss scored 5 touchdowns on their first 5 drives. I don't know if they do that in the Sugar Bowl against this defense.
You think Kirby Smart's going to let that happen?
No,
twice?
that's what I'm saying. Like he'll make the adjustments, and I mean it'll be what it is. But Ohio State, Miami. I would love for Miami to win that game just because I don't like Miami. I don't like Ohio State. Do you? Neutral site game. Of course, all of these are neutral sites now that they're in the bowls. But I think I would love for Miami to win that just because. I don't know what it is about Cristobal, and that their coach.
Yep.
He seems like a likable guy, and then they would like in the regular season they would have these games that they should have won but they lost, and for the last 2 or 3 seasons that's been the case. And so for him to finally get in, I don't know. It's not that I'm rooting for him, but
he helps the cause.
It does help the cause when if you have a likable somebody. You want them to do well. And for me, he just seems like a likable guy.
I like Signetti.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with Miami over Ohio State.
I'm going to say that if Ohio State would have beat Indiana, I would say, yeah, I think Miami beats them. But since they lost, I just like last year to Michigan, I think my pick is Ohio State wins it all.
Again,
that's already my pick.
back.
I think they go back to back. But I will also say I think that they have not been completely healthy the last few weeks. Their receivers have been, Smith was out of game, Tate was out of game. I think they've had some time off. They're going to be healthy. They're going to be ready. And I also think that, and I could be wrong, I think Carson Beck throws 2 picks.
He's been there, done that. I mean, he struggled at times.
He is inconsistent. If he's good, he's one of the best in the country.
Yeah.
If he's not good, it's ugly. And that's my say on it.
Carson Beck's going to have to show up if they want to win that game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when Ohio State faced an elite defense against Indiana in the championship game, the offense folded. They didn't score 10 points.
That's true.
So if Miami's defense continues to show up how they have and Carson Beck plays good, Miami will win it.
And they got some studs on that defensive line.
They do.
They are some was it Gaines? Is that right? Is it the kid's name or
Reuben Bain?
Bain. That's it. I knew it was like AIN something, but
he's crazy.
Yeah,
like if you see his stuff he's posted on social media, he's the maniac. So.
Well, I'm looking forward to that game, and then Tech and Oregon's kind of the coin flip for me, just because I think Tech's offense is fun, but that may be one of those 56-55 kind of games, and somebody blocks an extra point to win, or goes for 2 or something and doesn't convert, and I think that'll be a high-scoring shootout between 2 very good offenses.
I think whoever wins that game is insignificant, though. I don't think either one of those teams will make it to the championship.
Yeah, I think Tech wins just because riding the waves, kind of hot right now. I think Oregon, talking about inconsistent, they're the definition of inconsistent in my book. Just watching their offensive play, I don't think they found their team's identity this year. I think they had it early, but it changes throughout the season. Yeah. So I think Tech. They also had the should have been Heisman. So
I think Texas Tech's going to win that game, but because just going back to defense, David Bailey and Jacob Rodriguez are 2 of the best defenders in the country, and we're probably going to be high draft picks or at least a good draft stock, and I think Oregon just can't take it. So.
I want Tech to win.
I was going to the one you would comment on, I figured would be the Tech one, just because.
Yeah. Well, when you get to go and watch a team that is now competing in the playoff and should do pretty good. I get what you're saying. They're not going to go pretty.
Oh, I think they're a good team. Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
But getting to watch them be there, getting to rush their field, that was fun. And so, yeah, I want Tech to win. And then Tech beating Duke last night. That was good.
Hey, listen.
Wow. She said she's going to sneak it in there somehow.
She looked straight at me. and listen, I watched that whole game, and I said, even when they were down 10 in the, with 5 minutes left, I kept saying Duke doesn't deserve to win this game. I even said it myself. As a basketball coach, you can say when a team doesn't deserve to win.
I can't say we watched. We were looking at when Arkansas plays next, I think, and I was just like, oh, Duke and Tech are playing, and I just watched the ESPN so-and-so has the ball, so-and-so, and then I turned it on the last second for that if they were going to get the shot off. So I didn't actually watch it.
What's crazy is that Duke's last 2 losses, so in the Final Four last year and then this game, they were up over 15 points in the fourth quarter, in the second half, and still lost. And You can't miss 17 free throws and win a game.
That's what I said.
I
I was saying that. I went on a whole rant. I was like, "How are you getting paid money and you can't make free throws?" That's literally like it's like a kicker. The kicker for Oklahoma missing was that not Oklahoma?
Oh, you talking about one of our highs?
Yeah. And I was just like, how long did I talk about those free throws? 5 minutes.
Oh, it was bad.
Too long.
You should if you could have been in the living room.
She is my daughter, Luke. I'm sorry. It's,
oh my gosh, I was sitting on the couch, just eyes. I didn't know what to say. I mean, how do you miss that many free throws and you're, Division I college players? And it just goes to show you that on any given night, anybody can be beat. And if it's supposed to happen, it will, and it's the truth. So I'll take it. It's okay. That's all right.
We got to take a quick, 30-second break to hear from TEC. And when we come back, we're going to talk about NIL with these guys and get some of the inside scoop from name, image, and likeness. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back.
I get it. But when
don't forget, next week we're going to be Hot Mic. We're back. Yeah, it's fast. It happens fast. Hot Mic. Sorry. Next week we're off. We're going to take a break for the holidays and for Christmas, and so join us in 2 weeks when Coach Ray Anderson will be here with the Henry County Special Olympics flag football team. They are state champions, and so they're going to be on the show to talk about their experience in the state championship game, and so you'll want to be sure to join us for that. A couple of those kids have already been on the show with basketball, where they won the state championship in basketball.
I'm jealous.
That'll be January 4th at 7:30. Again, no show next week. Taking some time off to just kind of catch our breath and be with the family and enjoy some time off and all that comes with the holiday season. And so, but back live January 4th here at the studio, 7:30. Make sure you tune in for that. Mike Weatherford's show this week. He has special guest Tommy Akers on, and Andy Luddenberg and Terry Hudson will be joining him as well for just a fun night of music and friends and Christmas. And so that is Tuesday night, December 23rd at 7:00 p.m. They'll also be having an airing of grievances and Festivus celebration. No Seinfeld fans?
No.
Yes,
all
I
right.
am.
Sorry. I show my age. I know. Sorry. So December 23rd is Festivus. And so for you Seinfeld fans, they'll get that reference, but I can't believe that nobody here is a Seinfeld fan other than me. But all right, whatever. NIL. Both of you guys have a lot of knowledge and experience with that. Is it good for the game? Is it bad for the game? We're going to spend the rest of our time talking about that. And Coach Hight, I know you had some questions as far as the NIL, but so well, here they are. Yeah, what would you like to know?
Okay, so we can go with the heavy hitter from the jump. I know that Ryan and I were talking about this before we started, but there's a rumor, and there has been a rumor, and there was whenever he was there, that when Nico was at Tennessee, that his dad was taking all of his NIL money and blowing it all over the place. Is that true? I'd like to know.
No. Obviously, Nico's whole situation has been speculated by about probably 10 different people, and then it turned into media platforms to different schools commenting on him. I mean, it's a slippery slope once you start introducing 18, 19-year-olds to millions of dollars. I mean, at that point, you're letting out the cage for just about anything that can happen. But as far as his situation, I mean, he had a lot of lies spread on him that, one, that his dad was blowing all his money and forcing his hand and asking for more money, and none of that was true. It all came down to coaching and play calling and that aspect, which is why he left and where the narrative came from, that he asked for more money and his dad blew it all. And so absolutely not. And I hate that that's where the narrative has been, because they basically used him as a scapegoat in a way. So,
isn't it terrible though that with all of that now comes just he said, assumptions of and the narratives of this is what happened, and anybody can get on X and say whatever they want. Right. And that becomes the gospel truth for what has gone on. And because I remember when all that going on, he was going to sit out the playoff game if they didn't pay him enough money. And that he was, it's like, that just doesn't seem like something that anybody would do, I would hope. And then, he wanted more. And it like I said, both of you guys I know benefited from NIL. I think it's a good thing when it's ran properly.
Right.
When you get there, do they have it set up for you guys to know how to handle that? And what I mean by this, like, Luke, I think I remember when we went with you on a recruiting visit when Ole Miss played at Arkansas, and Ken and I, you graciously let us join you, and I thank you for that because I would have never had that experience anywhere else in my life. But when we were sitting there in Sam Pittman's office talking to him, we weren't, you were, you know what I mean?
We were right there.
We were right there. I was negotiating for Luke.
Sam Pittman.
No. But when you were sitting, like, I remember him making the comment to your mom because your mom was like, hey, are y'all going to, like, what's the program here? Do they teach y'all taxes? And do they teach y'all, here's your money, but here's what you need to plan on also? Do they have financial advisors for you guys to say, hey, here's what you need to do for both of you? Like, what was your experience with walking into college and being like, here you go?
So at the University of Arkansas, we were like required to like have meetings. They do things for like our academic offices or whatever, kind of like our student and athlete area where we would have like dinners and stuff. They would have people come in and try to teach us financial literacy and different things like that. And then our player development coaches would be on top of like reminding people, telling people, hey, you have to save so much money, blah, 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 just to be ready for when you have to pay taxes.
Right.
So I feel like that was a benefit. But I wouldn't say we had like financial advisors, but they were on us about making sure we were doing stuff the right way.
So they didn't just hand you a bunch of money and be like, good luck, guys.
No,
do with it as you want. How was it at Tennessee, Ryan, when you got there?
In a way, they gave us the courses like after we already had the money.
Okay.
So like we had it kind of September, October. I mean, you had guys that had gotten it in the spring. So, I mean, at that point, in my opinion, it was a little late, but we did have certain courses and people from different bank branches that came through and talked to us about how to invest money, how to get into the stock market, how to do different types of stuff. But it's kind of like one of those seminars that you kind of just sit there and, when is this going to be over? They did it at 8:00 at night after a long practice, long day of meetings, and you're just like, can we get this rolling?
I'm hungry. I'm ready to go home.
And they said you can stay and get more information, and absolutely nobody stayed. So I can't sit there and tell you that it was so effective, but they at least attempted to make a difference, I reckon. But
it's insane to me because, Kevin, we've got a graphic, and like I said, this graphic is a couple years old, and so I'm not saying that this is accurate, and not the one with the players on it. So this is the top 25 NIL college football earners. And again, this was several years ago. And a lot of the, see Arch Manning, number one at 6.5 million. It's old because Nico still has the Tennessee emblem behind him, 3.1 million. Luke, number 17 down there, Taylor Green, quarterback for Arkansas at 2.1 million. Does that change a locker room when you, like, when Taylor Green walks in and Luke, you're there and Taylor Green's making 2.1 million, is there not from you, but from others, is there resentment? Is there jealousy? How is all of that handled when you look and you see that, these kids are making, some of them, not all of them are kids, some of them are grown men at this point. And like, when I say grown men, I mean like 23, 24 years old. Does that, knowing that Taylor Green is getting paid $2 million to be the quarterback at Arkansas, and knowing that Nico was making a whole bunch of money to be the quarterback at Tennessee, how does that affect the locker room with guys who aren't making $2.1 million to be there?
Well, money is something that's like frowned upon to talk about in the locker room. Like the coaches would make an emphasis on that. Like, we're not supposed to talk to each other about how much people are getting paid and all that kind of stuff. So, because we're all there for the same reason.
Sure.
to compete and to try to win games. So we really didn't have a problem with like each other over how much people were making and different things like that, because obviously they're going to pay a quarterback more than an offensive lineman and different things like that. It's kind of like you got to look at NFL contracts. It's all the same way. I wouldn't say there was a lot of animosity because of the money, but we had some instances where like we were supposed to get paid on this time of the month. No one got their checks top to bottom. And we had someone sit out of a practice during fall camp. He came there in the morning. We had a morning practice, and we're sitting there waiting to go to meetings because fall camp practices, it's a whole day thing. It's like 16, 17 hours you're in the facility. And we got there around probably like 5:30, get taped, eat breakfast, stuff like that. And none of our money had came in, but we're not thinking about money. We're thinking about practice and what plays we're running this afternoon and stuff like that. And he saw his money didn't hit, and he just left. Like, he was supposed to be one of our starters, like a starting guard. And he left, and it was just like a slap in the face to everyone else, because we're all out here doing the same thing. We're here to play football, get better, and try to make it to the next level, and you're leaving over a check. So that's the only problem I think we had with money, was that one instance.
Oh.
Kind of similar to Luke's. I mean, it was, like you said, frowned upon to even speak on, I make X amount of dollars and I'm better than you because of that. Like, we had team meetings about, we're not talking about money. Like, brother around you, if you want to help brother out, you can then maybe talk about a financial conversation. But anything that came off as flaunting, it was very frowned upon. And honestly, we got so close in our locker room that it really didn't matter to us. Like, you saw it when people drove into the parking garage. That's about the only time you could really tell, oh, well, he's got it like that. Yeah. But other than that, I mean, we were all so close that was the least of our worries, was how much somebody was making in NIL.
Another interesting thing about that is it kind of turned college football into such a business. Yeah. That it's almost like a miniature, like you said, like a miniature NFL at this point. Kevin, I got another graphic. So I want to see what you guys think about this. It's the other one with the contract. I saw this the other day and sent a picture of it because we're talking about college, right? And so now we've got kids or people making social media posts about contract extensions in the college game. And then I didn't even notice the highest paid wide receiver in Texas A&M history. But I mean, like, if you had saw Braylon Russell had a social media post where he announced that he had signed a contract extension with the University of Arkansas, or that just. I mean, is that not insane to y'all? Like, that looked insane to me when I saw it.
I think it's pretty dumb. Like, it is very insane. I don't think schools should be bragging about paying kids this and that. But, I mean, that's what it's turned into, because you're having to try to get kids out of high school, transfer portal, stuff like that. If other kids see they have that money to offer, then they'll probably want to go there, right? Regardless of what they're doing on the football field.
I just have a question for you guys based upon that. So they're paying all this money. Obviously, you guys are getting, it's different amounts. I get that, like you said, somebody that's a lineman's not going to make the same as starting quarterback, start running back, or whatever. My question is, though, what does the NIL money look like as compared to? So do you still get a scholarship that pays for all of your school and then so school's taken care of, or maybe it's a half scholarship or whatever. I don't know how that works exactly, but. And then the NIL, you can cover the rest of it with that, or that's yours to do what you want with. You said they cut a check. So, is it so much of it you get throughout the course of the year? Like, can you speak on that just a little bit, either one of you? And
I'll start. And so with that, it depends on if you're on full scholarship or if you're on preferred walk-on, just to get partial stuff. But so I was blessed to have a full scholarship. And so that's separate. You don't see that. You get like a cost of attendance check, which pays for your rent and bills and food, stuff like that. And then NIL is completely separate. where you're on like a contract basis with the collective, and we got paid once a month. That's how ours work.
Okay.
So go ahead, Ryan.
I always looked at NIL as kind of like overtime. So like you got your base salary as far as being an athlete, like Luke said, cost of attendance, meals, all those things, and then NIL is kind of something deemed separate. It was a different contract you signed. It wasn't through your national letter of intent. Those things almost don't even matter anymore. Now, first contract people are looking at is their NIL contract. But I know for us that you had to have a certain amount of community service. You had to go do certain things to even make sure that it was coming in, because it was legally binding that you had to do X amount of hours to get X amount of dollars type of thing. So if you weren't showing up to the events like signings or community service at the hospital, like you weren't promised your check. Now, some guys, obviously, starting quarterback didn't necessarily have to do those things, but to hold up your end of the deal, in order to get that check, you had to follow through on your end.
So there was an actual contract that they presented you guys, like here's your deal, and so now Kevin put up that article that graphic, because these are the top NIL collectives, and you can see Spire Sports as number 2 there, but only behind Ohio State's. Again, I don't know how old this is. The Grove Collective is number 6 for Ole Miss. But one Arkansas, is that right? Is that the one Arkansas uses, or is
I think they've recently changed. They changed it. It switched from my freshman year. So my 2 years I played, it switched, and I think it switched again this year.
Okay,
but
sure like this is where your NIL is coming from, correct? Not the school. Correct. It's
illegal to come from the school technically,
right? But now with revenue sharing, that's different.
That's different. But that comes from the school.
Okay. But your NIL stuff, and when people hear these NIL numbers, that's not the school. That is these private collectives of a bunch of boosters, essentially, who have gotten together to fund. And, of course, I don't know what Ohio State's is. We know next year that LSU's is $25 million to fund the football or whatever program. I know they give to more than just football, but I would guess that the majority of it probably helps with the football program. Sure. We know we talked about, Texas Tech has $1 million softball player. But these are the folks that are coming to you guys and are like, hey, if you're going to play football at Tennessee, here's everything we're going to offer you. Here's your contract. Here's what you have to do, and here's what we'll do. Correct? Yeah. And
a lot of guys had agents as well that would kind of negotiate on their behalf. I didn't need one. I wasn't on that level of NIL to need an agent, but we had guys that would hire 2 or 3 lawyers, come in and negotiate with these people on their behalf and reach a deal, obviously. But coaches did have somewhat of a say. I mean, if the guy was complaining about not making enough money, coaches would go talk to these, for instance, Spire. They would go talk to him, have a meeting, and be like, how can we get this guy some more money type of thing. So.
And then there's also just other little stuff outside that y'all can, and the reason I ask about this is I remember, I think it was back this spring, maybe, when, of course, Nico's brother had signed to play at Arkansas and then was there for a little bit and then transferred to UCLA. And I don't think it was him. I'm trying to remember I don't remember who it was, but Wright's Barbecue is a big NIL. They do a lot for the players, right? They do. And so I remember Wright's Barbecue put something on X because, all of the players now when they are transferring will announce on their social media, I'm entering the transfer portal. Yeah. And Wright's Barbecue one day, and I don't remember who it was, but it was an Arkansas player, and he said, I'm entering the transfer portal. And Wright's Barbecue said, well, that would have been nice to know yesterday when you came to pick up your check for NIL.
Yep.
And so, I mean, stuff like that happens, obviously, but I mean, that's the danger you get into with it, I guess, is I don't say that's taking advantage, but because I don't know if that was like, is that a prepayment or is that a post payment? You know what I mean? Like
most of the NIL, it's kind of, it has to be somewhat transactional. Like he said, we had to do community service and different things like that in order to get paid.
Yeah.
So more than likely, he either had to post something on social media or go to Wrights and do like an event to get that money, and most of the time that comes after. So, but I don't know.
And now you got guys doing TV commercials because you got like Arch Manning does Viore. I saw Chambliss has an AT&T commercial now, and so it's getting an even bigger. Now these guys are going from Spire and those groups funding NIL to you have like national sponsors paying college athletes to be their spokesman, so to speak.
Well, those NIL collectives also help with that. They're
Okay.
trying to circulate your name to these big time companies or even local companies, like you're talking about Wright's Barbecue. Like I'm sure Arkansas's, what is it, one NIL?
It was like one Arkansas Edge.
I'm
I
sure
don't know
they
what it is now,
plastered
but-
their name on everything
Right.
out in the community saying, hey, come support these guys, do what you can. And I mean, we had guys for Spire that were reaching out to like Dr. Pepper, these
Right.
milk companies, roofing companies. We had Joe Milton on a billboard like all over Knoxville. Just
Listen, you joke about it, but like our company, I mentioned at one point that our company ought to get into the NIL business because we're in the Southeast. I mean, we're in Mississippi, we're in Louisiana, we're in Arkansas. And I say, if you can get one of these players to shoot a little 30-second ad and say, for all of my storage needs, nothing beats a Dirksen portable building, and pay him $5,000 or something to do it as an NIL deal. Just think of the exposure you could get
For sure.
for your company through that program.
and you'll have diehards coming to you just because their quarterback told them
That's
to.
exactly right.
Yep.
That's exactly right. And so, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, it's pretty fair game for anything. And I mean, it's just.
There's so many things we could talk about this.
Well, go ahead. We got time.
Well, I'm sitting here. I mean, so have y'all seen? Y'all might not see this. I follow college basketball pretty heavily just because I'm. So have you seen how college basketball programs are finding a way around? You all said that the school can't give you NIL money.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen where alumni of these college basketball programs, for example, the one I saw was Steph Curry, is now an associate director of basketball with Davidson.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And so since he works for the program, he can now funnel money into the basketball program because he technically works for it. Have you all seen any of that with football where like some outside booster or whatever becomes somebody with the team or starts working with the team or whatever to be able to funnel some money through the program? Does that happen in football, or have you seen some of that? Finding ways around it?
I think it's kind of hard to differentiate sometimes because Spire had their offices in our building. So like,
Oh my gosh.
so like you're talking about senior coaches in the hallway, but you're also talking about, okay, well, there's a dude from Spire right there. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to differentiate who was a part of your program and who was a part of your NIL collectives because they honestly went hand in hand. Like, it's so hard to differentiate the two.
That's unbelievable. I didn't realize that. See, that's opening my eyes to things. I didn't realize that they were in the building.
I'm not speaking for all of them, but they were in there just as much as anybody else was.
Well, I can almost imagine, though, like if they're in there, they've got to be in all the, I mean, think of like Ohio State.
They're everywhere. I mean, we had our people who like worked for the collective, which would help us get the contracts and different stuff like that. They were always at like practices, and they have to do it for all the sports that they fund. So they're all over the place all the time.
Well, and seeing, again, I'm going with basketball on this, but I know this as well. And you being at Arkansas, did you hear all the talk about the basketball team when Calipari came there?
Yeah.
And all the backers that they had coming, all the money that was
Tyson Chicken.
he was going to yes, he was going to have the most expensive basketball team, in NCAA or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's all true. Like you hear all that.
Oh yeah. I mean, the name Tyson carries a lot of weight up there. I mean, they probably own half of the Fayetteville through Bentonville area.
Really?
Their names are on the buildings on campus. Same with the J.B. Hunt family and some of the Waltons.
Yes,
That
I heard
Walmart.
I heard Walmart was involved. Wow.
Isn't Tyson like on the 25-yard line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Razorback? Yeah, they're one of the field sponsors.
And then
Yeah.
Walmart has like what do you call that?
What do you mean?
Like where it's up in the corner.
Yeah, it's on like the corners of the stadium, like on the walls. There's Walmart logos, and I think on our basketball court there's two. There's like the little Walmart circle that's on the court.
But I also know that they're like that's somewhat an item of frustration with Arkansas fans that they don't give more.
Because
Yeah.
then their kids go to Missouri,
Yeah,
and so they give most of their money to Missouri.
Oh my gosh.
that's just the Waltons though. But I think they still contribute a good amount, but I'm not sure how much. I mean, they sponsor a lot of like the stadiums and stuff. And then you have fans that saying the Waltons are going to pay for all the collective at Arkansas and all this stuff like that, but they don't. And they don't realize that. And they're just saying, oh, they're rich. They own Walmart. They do all this. They own the Broncos, the family I think owns the Broncos. The Waltons do, but they're not going to give money to Arkansas. So I really don't know. It's this weird situation. I know that
you're talking about, not a lot of it, but some funding does come from just normal guys like us, where because when we buy tickets to something, I know it won't be long before you're getting emailed, hey, you were at the Arkansas game. Here's how you can help the Arkansas one Razorback or one Arkansas, whatever it was at the time. And so it's not just a bunch of millionaires, but it certainly helps to do it. But
we had something called the Vol Club, and it was where you can pay a monthly subscription. Yeah. You have access to a certain tailgate area before games outside of Neyland. You got sent like a care package every month with certain kind of Tennessee swag, where there's a shirt, a mug, a sign, something signed. If you were a gold member, right, you maybe got a signed mini helmet. It was just, there was tiers.
I think the Grove Collective has something very similar for Ole Miss, because I remember when we were season ticket holders, they would send out, hey, here's your chance, because it's all pretty new several years ago. And they're like, here's your chance to get in the ground floor of the Grove Collective. I was like, I don't know what you think I do, but I don't build ground floors anywhere, brother.
wasn't the minimum $500 a month or something?
Something like that. It was ridiculous. It was like, man, maybe someday, but not today. But
the minimum was just hundreds of dollars.
But who makes up Spire? Is it just? I know
they were an independent company, private owned company, obviously, and they kind of. All these NIL companies, collective companies, are trying to get their hand into certain programs. Sure. And with it being new, almost as first come, first serve. So I'm pretty sure Spire was just the first come, first serve, and Tennessee fans love it. They're going to do anything to try and.
Well, I remember I'd never heard of Spire or NIL collectives or anything like that until Nico. Yep. And because they were the ones that, when it was, Spire is going to raise $8 million to get Nico to be the quarterback at Tennessee.
They set the precedent for what it's looked like.
Pretty much. And so the only other question I've got, I know Coach Hight has more for y'all, but the only other question I've got is, I don't see this, so I don't think it goes on, but do schools feel pressured to play certain people based on NIL deals?
I'm not going to comment on this one. I'm just going to stay out of that one.
Well, that's fine. I can't see how it wouldn't be pressuring to do it. And the reason I say that is this. So, for instance, I don't know what Ole Miss's NIL workings look like. I don't know, what was supposed to happen was that Austin Simmons was going to be the heir apparent to Jackson Dart.
Right.
And Austin Simmons started the first 2 games of the season. And then in the 3rd game against Kentucky, he injured his ankle and had to go out, and Chambliss came in. I can't believe that Chambliss, as the backup coming from a Division II school, was getting paid the NIL that Austin Simmons, the heir apparent at quarterback, was supposed to be getting paid for Ole Miss. But then when Chambliss played as well as he did, you can't bench him. Mm-hmm. You can't sit him and say, well, Simmons, because, Simmons is a young kid and has some growing to do. But even last night, I don't know.
Say what you
I will. But he was he turned the ball over every game that he played in. He came in last night and turned the ball. Yeah, I think there were multiple games where he had 2 interceptions. Last night, fumbles the football on the 15-yard line, and it didn't end up mattering. But you do that against Georgia, and that's huge. But I can't imagine there wasn't pressure from Ole Miss collectives saying, hey, we're paying Austin Simmons a whole bunch of money to sit on the bench now that you're playing Chambliss. And I respect that you can't comment on that, and I understand that. I wonder how much that goes on in college sports now.
I'm sure it does. It just depends on the situation of probably the school and how much someone's getting paid and stuff like that. But if they're winning games, I don't know how you would.
Well, but then there's the opposite as well. Like Arkansas, for instance, coaches can do what they want, and they are going to do what they want, and I guess they should do what they want if they're the coach. But Arkansas struggled this year. You get to senior day, and Petrino benches Taylon Green on senior day. I think, too, that surely there were some folks in the one Arkansas that were like, what are we doing? Like, why are we benching this kid who has been our quarterback in the face of the team this season? I know that, we're 2-9 or whatever, but he's our guy, and you're benching him on senior day at that. I don't know.
It's a strange situation.
You don't have to comment on it. I just you can say what you want.
Silence speaks volumes.
It does.
Yeah.
It's political, just like anything else. It does go into account when coaches' decisions, and how could it not? I mean,
sure.
When you start getting into 6 and 7 figures, I mean, it's going to have an effect on decision making. So,
and now, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the TSSAA about to approve NIL for high school?
I thought they already did.
They may have, and they very well may have.
They did. I think they did it our senior year.
And so,
I think it was going in place the year after we left.
I gotcha.
Well, don't you know Halen Ayers already has an NIL deal with Foot Locker? She's already been in a commercial.
Is that right?
Or no, with New Balance, not Foot Locker.
Yeah, she signed with New Balance, I think.
Yeah, she's the number 1 player in the junior class.
Yeah.
Or
I think she's a junior.
She's a junior or sophomore?
It's one of the two. I know she's young.
Anyway, she's probably going to go to UConn.
That's girl at USJ?
Yes.
Okay.
She's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But, yeah, she's already signed with New Balance. She's 16. I mean, she deserves it.
Sure.
She'll be in the WNBA if she wants to. I'm best girl I've ever seen in person.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's crazy to think about a 16-year-old.
I can see Paris getting involved in some of that, how diehard crazy we are over sports.
I was going to say, this is a good time to announce that SPORTSCAST with Jeremy Buckaloo will be sponsoring now. I need a lot more sponsors before that happens.
You like Chikai, and his ability so much, you might need to go ahead and jump on that train.
I probably should, but again, sponsors. If you would like to sponsor SPORTSCAST and therefore around the way kind of be an NIL.
I was
going to say, Aspire's listening. You could be his agent.
Listen, man. But it's just crazy that high school kids now are going to be able to go and be, get NIL deals in high school.
It's hard to draw that line once it's
kind of
already been open. So, but I think that also falls on the hands of the NCAA. They let it get out of hand. I mean, they weren't going to pay players. They kept shutting them down until it turned into a lawsuit.
Right.
They didn't have a choice. They couldn't regulate it. If they would have introduced it without being forced by the courts to do so, they could have put stuff in place, put limits on stuff. Now, once a court kind of made them open up the floodgates, there's no
don't really get to tell
in.
the courts no, do you?
No.
Well, and that brings me actually to the question, and I'm blaming the college football game for that. I'm just saying, no. Everybody wanted the college football game back, so now we're starting. But anyway, here's the real question. So they talked about how Ohio State's football team was worth like $50 million last year that won the championship, right? Obviously, though, other schools, and this goes back to kind of small school stuff that we talked about, they can't compete on an NIL level. So do you think, just like in the NFL, or I think it's maybe not NFL, I know the MLB has a salary cap. Do you think there should be an NIL cap, meaning that this is the amount you can have to spend on your team? That's what you get, and you can't go anything over, or there's going to be repercussions or whatever, to kind of even the playing field. Obviously, small schools still couldn't even reach that. It doesn't matter. But as far as like SEC schools and Big Ten schools are probably going to be able to get a lot more money than maybe an ACC school or a Pac-12 or whatever. Do you think there should be some type of balancing act done on it?
I don't see how you legally can, unless you cap the university's ability to make money as well, because that's part of why the lawsuit happened, was because how much money NCAA and these universities were making due to the players, and I don't see how you can put a cap on them without putting a cap on the university and how much they're able to make off the backs of players.
Well, okay. So going back to what you said earlier, though, you said that the school can't pay them, right? That was so the money's not coming from the school. So I guess my question is should there be a cap on the amount of money that the school can take in from donors?
Yeah, I feel like that's the only way you can regulate it. Like, There needs to be something done about it. I'm not the person to ask on what should be done about it.
Well, I mean, this is just open for you guys.
Yeah,
like, what do you think? You've been in it, so that's why I'm asking.
It's hard, man. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah, I really don't know with all the rules and stuff in place now, and after they let it just go so wide open, where do you go from that point to be able to get to where you could regulate it? But, I mean, there's a lot of things that could come. I mean, you could get rid of the NCAA as a whole and just start like a league, kind of like the NFL, make power conferences could merge and have their own thing. But what would that do to small school football? And it would all just trickle down effect and harm different schools at different levels. So, but I'm really not sure about the right way to fix it.
That's an interesting thought process, though.
It is kind of like, how do you stop an avalanche after it started?
Mm-hmm.
Can't.
That's kind of like where we are right now with it, I think.
Right.
And
There's a bunch of perfect case scenarios you could throw out there that if students would just handle it maturely, but you're giving 18, 19-year-olds
sure,
millions and millions of dollars. If you gave me $1 million right now, I wouldn't know how to act.
right.
So,
Well, and a lot of these kids, I mean, it is truly life changing.
It is.
I mean, I know both of y'all come from good families, and but some of these kids come from places that you just can't imagine,
Right.
and then
For sure.
they can perform really well on a court or a football field, and now you got all these folks throwing, like you said, millions of dollars at them, and I don't know. I think something's got to change, or you're right. It's just like you're just building super teams, especially with with the transfers and all that. You're just it's just straight up free agency.
If anything, though, I think it's helped to even out college football.
Really?
More so, I mean, you got to think about it. This was happening long before
That,
NIL was ever legal.
you're
Like,
right,
true.
because everybody, kind of the joke is that, well, now that you can legally pay players, the Big Ten's caught up with the SEC,
Yeah.
whereas before SEC was just doing it, and now that it's legal, everybody's on equal footing, and I mean that's a valid point.
Because every
And so-
school has those big donors that are willing to throw the money. It was just, were they willing to do it illegally?
Right.
And like your Alabamas, your Georgias, even Tennessee. I mean, you had your guys that were, I'll go to jail for it. Like they didn't care.
What was it Ed Orgeron said the other day? Used to, you had to walk in the back door with the
Right.
bags of money.
Yep.
Now you can just walk in the front door with it.
Yep. So at least now you're starting to see like the SEC this year. I mean, Vanderbilt. I mean,
Just yeah,
it's ridiculous. Like Vanderbilt, Missouri, everybody's competitive. Used to, I mean, even Tennessee in a sense. Like you'd have your teams that were always went 8-4, your teams that always went 7-5, your teams that always went negative. Now you never know.
Never know.
You never know what it's going to look like. So
Anything else?
No, you make a good point. I mean, I guess that was my biggest thing on it was like, and that's where I wanted to get to was is there a way to regulate? Is there a way to think about regulating? And then the next part of that was the small school thing is there something where you should just separate the Power Five into their own thing and let them do their own thing?
I can see it.
And then let the smaller schools have their own thing. I'm not saying have separate champions or whatever you want to say, but we talked about FCS schools playing on ESPN the other night. That was the John Davison thing. He's like, we've got games of FCS playing on ESPN, and then the dang bowl games are on
TNT.
Yeah,
yeah.
and it was because they knew they weren't going to be great games, right? I mean, so I guess that's the big thing is I think there's ways that they need to maybe consider going about it differently. Basketball is kind of the same way, but it's a little different, obviously, with basketball. But we talked about the money situation. It's all about making money. That's why they keep adding teams to the NCAA tournament for basketball. You got 68 dang teams in there now.
if there's a profit in there, they're going to find it.
For sure.
Yeah, I guess if they
Everybody's-
want the money machine to keep working,
Yeah.
they're not going to change any of this stuff. They're
Right.
just going to let the
We
money
might get
machine
a
go.
December madness for football for it's all said and
There
done.
you go.
It'd be crazy, but it wouldn't surprise me one
wouldn't-
bit. It
not
wouldn't
at all.
surprise me
If
at
there's
all.
profit in it.
Absolutely, guys. Great conversation. I enjoyed it. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Before we go, what's your favorite memory of these two guys?
Oh, Lord, you got me. Well, I was telling y'all before it came on, my favorite memory of these two, it doesn't even involve Henry County, actually. It's graders at Martin. And so both my memories, so with Ryan, unfortunately, so I'm going to bring up the loss, but my favorite memory with Ryan is we played them in the championship of the, I guess, was that region at the time or district and we were down 6-0 with about 2 minutes left, and watching Zamarion Kendall will us to victory on a touchdown and then a 2-point conversion was amazing, but it was enjoyable watching you play back then. Obviously, getting to see you play at Henry County was good as well. And with Luke, obviously playing you in middle school basketball. I remember you being the big kid inside, and then whenever you came to Henry County, my best memory of you is not even with football. It's the year you played basketball, your junior year, watching you, actually be a true big out there. We don't get those a whole lot here. And just, it was fun to watch that year and seeing you do something I didn't even know that you were, capable of doing. So really, really cool to see. And then, seeing y'all now as grown men, obviously really cool. So it's come full circle, but pretty sweet.
I remember Luke in 8th grade because I remember him walking on the court, and I was like, that's got to be the biggest 8th grader I've ever seen in my life. And that dude was massive then. And then, of course, I had heard about Ryan, and so when they said that he was going to come play football at Henry County, I was like over the moon. And first ever that I know of 4-year starting quarterback for the Patriots.
I believe so.
And got all kinds of other records that have your name out beside them. I was trying to think if I have a favorite. I don't know of a favorite memory. I think that, I guess, and this would be for both of you, would be the Dyer County game, y'all sophomore year, when we went over there. And
they're talking a bunch of crap for the game.
Well, because they beat us in the playoffs and thought that they were something. And but there's so many great memories. The Philly special at Springfield.
Yep.
Man, that was awesome.
That was a good one.
Just so many.
I think Luke still has that football.
Does he?
Football? No.
On the film, you grabbed it and ran off with it, so I figured you
I
kept it.
don't know what I did. I was probably saying a few choice words to
You
some
were,
people.
for sure.
Is the Damron flag still in the locker room?
We
That's
tried
the
to leave it. I know our sign that we left the previous year when we beat them in the playoffs, they framed it.
Nice.
It's like we left tape on the wall with the score because they were talking a bunch of crap. And that's what me and Luke did best, was talk crap. So we left the score on the wall on tape, and they framed it for us when we went back.
Listen, like I said, I loved watching you guys play. You were always front and center as the quarterback, but as Kenna and Luke started dating and talking and all that stuff, I started paying more attention to Luke. And there were some of those screen passes.
Special,
Listen, some of those screens, like when Luke would get out and some poor 5'7", 5'8", 113-pound safety from some of these schools we played tried to get in front of him, and he would just literally pick them up and throw them across the field. And
now let's be honest here. You were not thinking that. You were like, one, he does look like he could protect my daughter. and then two, you were like, okay, hold up. How do I intimidate him?
Okay, so I come home one day and I'm like, Dad, guess who's in my class? And he's like, who? And I'm like, Luke Brown is in my class. And so they used to hang out in the field house before school every morning. And around the same time, we would get to school the same day.
The same day?
Be quiet. The same time as he was leaving the locker room. And so for we met in August, I guess. We didn't start talking till late October, November. Every day. From August until Luke and I actually became friends, my dad was like, "There's Luke Brown. Look, there's Luke." As a joke. He was totally kidding because he was joking that he was gonna roll down the window and do it. And so then it was just funny that then Luke started coming to our house, and my dad was like, so then we would see him in the mornings, and I'd be like, "You can't even pretend like you see him. You don't see him right now."
He's kind of hard to miss.
He is hard to miss.
Yeah, but I didn't want him to be like I don't know. I was scared that he was gonna embarrass me in front of Luke.
If anything, he would embarrass Luke.
Yeah, probably. Luke would be like, I'm never talking to that girl right now.
I didn't know you could be embarrassed, Kenna. That's a new thing. I was unaware of that.
You just gotta,
yeah.
But it's funny because I've always been involved somehow for the last several years anyway with the football, whether it's stats or radio or whatever. And so, Ryan, you came your freshman year, and then I remember I think your dad posted a picture of Luke that he was transferring to Henry County. Is that picture where Luke was standing in the doorway with his arms like
the
that?
Worst picture I've ever taken in my life.
Well, it worked because I was all excited about Luke Brown coming to Henry County to play football.
You talk about recruiting.
No. We don't do that. No.
It's legal for me.
Yeah. But anyway, I appreciate both of you guys and what you did for Henry County football. And anyway, as we leave, what's your favorite Christmas movie, or what's your best Christmas movie, and you can't repeat what somebody else has already said. So we're gonna have 5 unique Christmas movies. As far as
let me go last. I got to think for a second.
okay,
Or not
Ryan,
first,
what's in your eyes? What is the best Christmas movie?
I want to be in good graces when I go see my girlfriend later, so I'm going to say Home Alone.
Okay, the smart man right there.
I think probably I'd have to say the Polar Express.
Can you believe? Like, I have never watched the Polar Express.
How?
I just never watched. I don't know. I don't know why I've never watched it. I've just never watched the Polar Express.
It's just because it just like brings back memories of being young. And
yeah, I mean, I can see
everything.
But listen, when I get to I'm going to go ahead. Like, so Polar Express, Home Alone. What's yours?
Mine's actually a new movie. Mine is Red One.
Oh, that's a really good one.
I
watched
love that
it
movie.
the other day.
It's so good. Like, I watched it whenever I was on the plane to Texas Tech. Like, I watched it in mid-November.
Got The Rock, you know.
And it's good.
Chris Evans.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. All right.
Okay, so, man, I'm actually a big Christmas movie person. That's why I was sitting here thinking, because there's a bunch of them that I really like.
There's so many good ones. That's like,
I'm gonna go with the one I've probably watched the most. I can go with I'm gonna say Elf.
okay.
Okay, I just
Classic.
Will Ferrell is awesome, but my kids love the new Grinch. I say new, it's like 3 years old, the animated one. So I've probably seen that about 90 times. I'm not even joking. I do like it though. It's good. But my favorite Elf, my kids love the Grinch though so much.
I told Ken I should have brought it for the show tonight. I have the cardboard stand up of Buddy the Elf.
Oh yeah,
that is at my office. It
That's
stays
awesome.
out year round. It's like always over my right shoulder, and
It's really funny when like new people come in the office and he's the lawyer and he's like, "Hey, I'm Jeremy," and it's like Buddy the Elf's behind him. Like he's
That's
supposed to be
pretty awesome.
professional. And
like that. Like I feel like sometimes I feel bad about it because I'm supposed to be like a professional, but like I've got that, and then I've got the Office Lego set.
Oh, that's
sitting
awesome.
on my desk behind me, and so I'm
Top
like,
5 show of all time, by the way.
yes.
100%.
So what's that?
It's a debatable.
Okay.
I
So
know.
next
Maybe
time
we
on
need to talk-
SportsCast is your why is The Office not a top 5? Anyway, so honorable mentions. I know that's not fair, guy. We didn't get honorable mentions. What's my favorite saying?
this is my show.
My
I
show.
can talk about whatever I want.
National Lampoon's
So good.
is one of the
Second.
greatest. Jingle All the Way with
I've not seen that.
with Turbo
I've never.
Man. It's got
yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is trying to find a Turbo Man for his son, and it's like the hottest toy, and so he can't find any, and it's worth Jingle All the Way.
So I need to watch
You
it.
need to watch
Okay.
Jingle All the
All
Way. But my favorite Christmas movie, because I'm a sentimental jerk, is The Family Man with Nicolas Cage, where he's like a Wall Street broker, and he thinks he's got it made, and
How old is this movie?
This movie's pretty old.
Forget
but
it. Die Hard. What are we even talking about? That's what you sound like right now talking
to
about
me,
these
like,
movies.
The Family Man is really a Christmas movie.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie as well.
So there's that, yeah.
Is that no? That's our next conversation. Next time
Is
Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Okay.
That's the one.
Guys, again, I appreciate you being here. I know it's late. We got to get out of here. But again, thank you for stopping by. We'll do it again sometime and talk about all kinds of other stuff. So
Appreciate you having
appreciate
us.
y'all.
Thank you.
As always, open door policy. Whenever you want, just stop in and we'll be here every Sunday night. Except for next Sunday night, we're taking a break. But on January 3rd, January 4th, we'll be back with the Henry County Patriot Special Olympics flag football team state championship, 7:30. Until then, have a very Merry Christmas. Remember, the reason that we celebrate Christmas is not about all the toys and gifts. Those are great. Spending time with family is great. But it's about the birth of our Savior. And that's why we celebrate. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays with your family. And as always, let me thank you again, The Peddler. Thank you, TEC. Thank you, Shelter Insurance, Eaton Construction, Tennessee Real Estate. Thank you to Mike Weatherford for the station, or letting us use the station. Kevin Keel and Scott Norwood in the back keep us on the air. Those guys are never seen, but we wouldn't be here without them, and I appreciate them more than they know. And thank you to all of our viewers. I appreciate you as well. We will see you back here January 4th. Until then, Merry Christmas, good night. Take care of yourself.
And others.
Y'all have a good night. Bye, y'all.